Here's a story which was told to me by Rabbi Meir Abasera of blessed memory. He was a wonderful person. He was the one who used to whistle at the Rebbe's. The Rebbe would tell him to whistle at the Farbrengens when everyone was singing. He would whistle. He says you have to. And the Rebbe brought all sorts of sources from the Talmud, from everywhere, that whistling is a good thing. In certain times, it's a good thing. Anyway, he was a wonderful person. He was very popular, very unique person. But he told me a story. And the story they told me goes like this: that once there was a couple that came to the Baal Shem Tov, and they said to the Baal Shem Tov that our son has left Judaism and he became attached to the church. He changed his religion, and now he's a priest in the church, and he's against everything which has to do anything with Judaism. And Judaism by him, and he curses. He says the worst things about the Torah, about the commandments, and we don't know what to do. What should we do? And the Baal Shem Tov says you have to love him. You have to love him every day. Say psalms for him. Say the psalm of his birthday, when he was like now he's 20 years old. Say the 21st psalm. He's going into his 21st year. Say that every day and pray for him, but think about him and love him. You have to have tremendous love for him. So how can we love him? He's done everything against us. He hates us. He's gone against us. He's gone against the Torah. He's gone against the commandments. Said you have to love him. That's the only way you can. So that's what they did. They loved him. They thought about him all the time. It was very difficult for them, impassable. One night there was a tremendous wind blew. It was freezing cold outside. This whole story happened in the Ukraine, wherever. Freezing. And they locked themselves in their house and they turned up the stove. It was freezing cold outside. And they heard things outside breaking and trees breaking. And suddenly there was a big thump at their door. Boom, a big bump. They thought maybe a tree fell on their door. They heard some sort of weird sounds coming from outside. Maybe it was a bear, maybe a wolf, something like that. They didn't know what it was. And they thought they heard maybe some sort of a word coming out. So they opened up the door, and there was their son in the snow, buried in the snow, pressed up against the door from the wind. The wind pressed him up against such a thing. So they opened up the door, they took him in, and he was crying, and he said, please forgive me. I'm sorry, I made a big mistake. I should have never done it. Will you forgive me? And they said, yes, what happened? So he said, well, the last month or so, I started having big doubts about what the decision I made to leave Judaism. Whatever reasons I had, I realized those reasons were just my own ego, my own faults, whatever it was. I started to have regrets, and I started to talk to them, to the priests over there, to the bishops, whoever it was, about my regret, my thoughts, that I thought that maybe their whole religion was false. And remember this, so they tried to answer my questions that I had, and the answers were not, they didn't make any sense to me whatsoever. They were just, all of a sudden I realized that the whole entire choice that I made was a tremendous, tragic error, that I had opted out to idolatry, but I didn't know what to do. I couldn't, and I expressed my doubts to them. I said I wanted to leave, so they locked me up in a room, and to put me up in a room in a high tower until I changed my mind. And they didn't give me any food, they didn't give me any drink until I changed my mind. And if not, I would give my soul to the who knows what, go to wherever. And all of a sudden, the night there came a tremendous wind. A tremendous wind came, and it blew. There was the room where I was in. There was no windows. There was just holes. There were no wind. And it blew me through the window. It blew me out through the window, and it carried me out. I landed in some sort of a tree, and I came down, and I fell down into a bush, and it just blew me. The wind just blew. I couldn't stand it, and it blew me up to the door. And that's how I came to here, to your home. So it ended up that their love, and of course the Baal Shem Tov's blessing, was what caused their son to change himself totally and to come back to the truth. Have a good day with Mashiach.